over the graden wall. The woods had grown thicker with every step, until the road itself seemed to vanish. The lantern in the boy's hand was the only point of light, a fragile blow against the endless night. The tall brother walked stiffly, shoulders tense, eyes darting into the fog. The younger one hummed softly to himself, the tune strange and old, though he could not say where he had learned it. The trees seemed to bend in closer when he sang, as though listening. For hours they walked, the silence broken only by the crunch of leaves and the distant cry of unseen birds. But the path refused to end. Whenever they thought they had reached the edge, it only curved, pulling them deeper. At last they came to a crossroads. One path was narrow, lined with withered flowers that gave off a faint scent of decay. The other was wide, its ground littered with broken toys, wooden horses, cracked marbles, dolls with missing eyes. The older brother frowned. Why would anyone leave these here? He bent to pick up a doll, its porcelain face split by a crack. As soon as he touched it, the doll's eyes rolled back, and a faint giggle echoed in the air. He dropped it, his hands shaking. The younger one picked it up instead, turning it over. "She says we should take the left path," he murmured. The older boy froze. "What did you say?" The child looked up innocently. "The doll told me." "Didn't you hear her?" Against his better judgment, the older brother followed. The left path twisted like a snake through the forest, leading them at last to a village that seemed stitched from shadows. Houses leaned as though bowing, their windows glowing faintly with candlelight. But no one stood outside. They stepped into the square, where a fountain gurgled with black water. The lantern light shimmered on its surface, and for a heartbeat, the older boy saw his own reflection grinning back at him with teeth too sharp. He jerked away, clutching the lantern tighter. A sound rose, soft at first. Music. A violin, scraping out a lullaby that felt wrong, each note trembling like a sob. From the largest house at the edge of the square, the melody drifted, pulling them closer. Inside, the air was heavy with dust. Cobwebs hung from chandeliers, and portraits stared down with eyes that seemed too alive. In the corner, an old man sat hunched over his violin, his bow moving slowly across strings that were broken. Yet somehow, the music played on. The brothers froze. The old man lifted his head, his eyes clouded white. "You shouldn't be here," he whispered, his voice like dry leaves. "The forest doesn't give back what it takes." The younger brother stepped forward. "Who are you?" The man smiled sadly. "I was once a traveler, like you." The unknown does not let travelers leave. It only feeds on them. Before the older brother could speak, the candles flickered out. The violin fell silent. And when the lantern lit the corner again, the chair was empty. Only dust remained. They ran. Out into the night, across the square, back toward the path. but the forest had changed. The trees had shifted, blocking the road behind them, forcing them deeper into the unknown. The air grew colder, the mist thicker, until they could barely see their hands before their faces. The younger one tugged his brother's arm. "We need to keep the lantern alive." "That's what she told me." "Who told you?" the older boy demanded. The child's eyes gleamed strangely. "The forest." At last, the trees opened into a clearing. In the center rose a massive tree, its trunk blackened, its branches draped with lanterns. Dozens of them. Hundreds. Each burned with a weak, pale flame. The older brother stepped closer, horror dawning on him. Inside each lantern was a face. Some screamed silently, some wept, some simply stared. Souls, trapped in glass, flickering forever. A figure emerged from the roots. A woman, tall, cloaked in rags, her face veiled. Her voice was a sigh. "Every traveler leaves their light here. Every path ends at the tree." She stretched out a pale hand. "Give me the lantern." The younger brother clutched it to his chest. "No. If we give it up, we'll be gone too." The woman tilted her head. Beneath the veil, something shifted, a smile stretching wider than it should. "Then you will wander forever, until the flame dies." The shadows at her feet rose, forming shapes of lost travelers, hollow-eyed, whispering the brothers' names. The lantern shook violently, its flame sputtering as though it, too, feared the woman. The older brother grabbed his sibling's hand. "Run!" They bolted, the shadows following, voices growing louder. Branches whipped at their faces, roots caught at their legs, the forest alive with fury. Behind them, the woman's voice echoed, "You cannot leave. All travelers return." They stumbled upon a bridge spanning a churning black river. The lantern's flame nearly died, but the younger brother began to hum his strange melody again. The flame steadied, growing brighter, enough to drive the shadows back. Step by step, they crossed, the boards groaning beneath them. Halfway across, the woman appeared at the far end of the bridge, her veil lifted. Where her face should have been was nothing but a void, endless and hungry. The older brother raised the lantern high. Its light flared, brighter than ever before. The woman shrieked, her form twisting, the shadows scattering like smoke in a storm. The brothers ran, hearts pounding, until they stumbled onto the far shore. Morning light broke faintly through the trees. The lantern dimmed but did not die. They collapsed on the grass, gasping, the forest behind them silent once more. The younger brother smiled faintly. "I told you the forest wanted us here." The older one shook his head. "It didn't want us here. It wanted to keep us." As they stood to leave, the wind shifted. From across the river, in the fog, they saw her, the veiled woman, standing beneath the lantern tree. Her hollow face turned toward them, and though no mouth was visible, the words carried clear, "You will return." No traveler ever leaves the unknown. The lantern flickered once more in the boy's hand. They turned away, walking into the faint light of dawn. But the older brother knew the truth. The forest was not finished with them. Not yet.